So welcome to the UCI 2022 Urban Cycling World Championships. We're here in Abu Dhabi in the UAE, and we're here for the trials, the men's elite 20-inch finals. As you can see, the sun is going down behind the nation's towers. The crowds are assembling. I'm in the commentary box. I'm joined by a man who knows the format of this inside out. Our riders having qualified in through the semi-finals. I'm joined by Andre Burton, 6 times British champion, and a man who has been here riding in and around. So as you've seen from the action, Andre, there was a little throwback there with some 2021 in there, and our past World Championships, 2 Spanish, 1 German, 1 Austrian here in the 20-inch wheel. It's a discipline that Spain are very, very strong at, and we're expecting to see some real good work by them here today again.
Hi Matt, yeah, so thanks for having me guys, and welcome to the UCI Urban Cycling World Championships and the 20-inch men elite. So yeah, the Spanish are incredibly strong, especially in the 20-inch category, but also the 26-inch category, dominating force in mountain bike trials. Yeah, we've also got lots of others in the mix as well.
And here at the World Championships, you've been watching some of our park that's been taking place. We've seen that freestyle, some serious air up there. I'm really looking forward to that. There's been already a lot of emotion. So we've seen the flatland, which was incredible to see out there.
Such a crazy sport, man. It's so difficult, so technical, and just takes hours and hours of practice to get that good on the bike.
And an amazing course for the trials, and some fantastic action in the heats. The guys who've got to keep control of all this are our UCI commissars. There are referees in charge of the sport. A real mix of talented and very experienced individuals down there, but they've got to work as a team.
Yeah, and as you can see, they're from various countries, so there's no bias for anyone, and they're basically going to be right up there with the riders, checking exactly every movement and making sure they're not crossing lines, making it through the markers properly, and not touching any pedals or any part of their bike other than the tyres, or they will be penalised.
And as we can see from the course, there's a real mix.
We are at the trial section for the upcoming World Championships here in Abu Dhabi. This is the first section based on the, local elements, like the sun is the most element that you can find here in Emirates. So we have created this section using precast concrete. It's a section with the rider have to going up to this small surface and going down one sector to the other sector. This is the palm tree section. For me, is the most beautiful section here in Abu Dhabi. You use palm tree. Never before we have worked with this kind of material, so it's completely new for everyone. So we have created different position of the locks, like a picado. So they offer super technical and sometimes scary movements, like this hook. I can jump directly from the top and going down. So for me, it's one of the most beautiful sections here of the world. This boat is not for sailing, neither for fishing. It's for trials, the World Championship. This is a nice waterfall on my back. This is the 5 section. We have created a lake where water plays an important role, also the sun. This is the 5 section, will be decisive to know the new world champions.
So Danny, they're explaining exactly what our riders, our competitors are going to face, and as you can see from our start list, 3 Spanish riders, 1 rider from Great Britain, 1 Austrian and 1 Slovakian rider into the final. Going to be very interested to see who will take this away, and you know these guys really inside out one way or another. You've been competing at the same venue, seen them in action, and any particular standouts there?
Well, I mean, to be honest, in the 20-inch category, they're all standouts. They're absolutely amazing. We've got there's Jonas Christensen, who narrowly missed out on finals, who trains with all these guys as well. And yeah, I mean, we're going to be starting from 6th place from the semi-finals up to 1st place in the semi-finals. So first rider out is going to be Samuel Lavity. I mean, Samuel, super smooth. We've actually got a really big mix of styles as well. They don't all ride the same as each other. They're going to be using different lines. Thomas Pekako qualified in 5th place, known for just absolutely massive power moves, big Austrian guy. So here we've got Samuel Lavity heading onto the stage first from Slovakia. He's something like 10 times Slovakian champion. He made the finals back in 2019, I think it was, at Chengdu. So he's back into the finals now, narrowly missed out in 2021. And of course we skipped 2020. Yeah, we're hoping for a top result from Samuel. I've been training with him a lot, South Africa, Spain, all over Europe, so I know he's absolutely amazing and what he's capable of. And then next up we have Thomas Pekaka. Thomas is an absolute powerhouse, known for really, really big moves. This guy's got one of the biggest hops on a bike you've ever seen. So he's pretty excited to get on some big moves. Been training hard with him this year. Actually, the three of us were just at Spain for the last 2 weeks training together. So yeah, these guys are really, really pushing it. And then next up we have Eloy Palau, who is one of the top riders from Spain and from Catalonia. He's he's been very, very close to winning the World Championships before, and he's been super motivated. Interesting fact about him: got blown up by a bomb a couple of years ago, unexploded World War II bomb.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
back on the bike now and riding well.
And a bronze medalist from last year as well. So going to be interesting to see if he can get himself up there. Next up is the rider from Great Britain.
Indeed, Charlie Rolls. Now this guy, we're going to see some spectacular stuff from him. He's got a very different style, likes to ride really flamboyant and just enjoy himself. The best advice you can give him is just do something cool, and he's just going to do it. Like last year at the World Champs, he did some amazing stuff, and this year at the World Cup. So we're going to see something very cool from Mr. Charlie Rolls there.
He's looking like, yeah, I know what I got in front of me. Let's get this out of the way. Let me at it. Let me at it. I want to go
likes
ride.
The technical stuff, so this is good because it's quite a technical course, I think. So, and he's a very fast rider. So it's a long. Each section's quite long, a lot of gates. It's all about getting to the end and getting as many points as you can. So Charlie's got a good chance there. And then next up, our top two riders. We have Alejandro Montalvo, again from Spain, who, well, there's nothing to say about him. He's won multiple events in the past. The only thing I think he hasn't won is the World Championships. So this could be his day. He's super focused, been training really hard on his jitsi, and he's got some really good support. And yeah, I'm excited to see how he does. You know, like this could be his year.
Well, let's hope so. You never know. He was a silver medal last year. Will he be able to get that one step up? That's got to be some serious motivation, but the money's got to take out defending champion from 2021.
Yes, we have Borja Conejos, who again, another Spanish rider. Like we said earlier on, they really do dominate the trials scene because they have perfect weather and great riding locations, and they just have such good facilities for everyone to train. So Borja is, well, he was former world champion, so he could be winning here again. I believe this will be his second world champion title.
Yeah, it's a win last year. He knows what it's like to have the rainbow jersey. He knows what it's like to be world champion, and he has got to desperately want to retain that. But
Absolutely.
This course is brutal. It's really, really long. It's something with some extra technicality that, as we saw, a lot of the local features like the sand, like the palm trees, like we've got the water. Obviously, we'll bring that in. I'm sure it's bound to feature later on.
You see that everybody rode off the stage except for Charlie, who just decided, yeah, I'll chuck in a 360 off just because, you know, it wakes him up and gets him going. And that's what he's like. He's just a bit more flamboyant, you know. And if he's enjoying himself, he's riding well. So first up on section 1, we have Samuel Lavity, who first to take on the concrete section. This is concrete moulds especially made for this event. They've done a really, really cool job of building this course. It looks absolutely mental. So check this out. Here we go. So collecting points as he goes through each gate. That red column in front of him is worth the first 10 points. So clean through there. He'll be on 10 points so far. Charging his way through the sand there. Here we go. So the first pretty big gap here. It's going to be hooking the front tyre over, keeping that back wheel nice and central. That rather slippy point. Dropping down into the sand. Here we go. So instead of gapping straight across, he's decided to go down, set up on the red edge, across to the green column, and a big gap across to the black one as well. So really technical. Sam's taking his time a little bit here. Come on, Samu. Yeah, Bronco straight over. So just clearing the back wheel right the way over in one on that. Not stopping on the back wheel at all. Now, this next gap, this is the third gate. Chatting to everybody this morning. We're like, wow, this is absolutely crazy. So let's see if he can get this. So up onto these two posts. And a massive gap. I would guess it's about 2.80 meters across and up by about 20 or 30 centimeters. They've shaved off the top to give him a bit of a landing space now. Big gap. Oh, he's so close. And he's got to keep both wheels straight through that gate as well. So as he comes off, he can't twist the front wheel out, or that's a fail on the section. So he can go back, because he hasn't gone through the next part of this gate, he can go back and go through that first gate again. So here we go, lining up. Huge gap here. Come on, Samuel. Come on. Big effort. Oh, he's so close. Right on the edge. Can he hold it? He's holding it. Come on. 20 points so far. 20 seconds left. Is he going to go around for another attempt? This is, like I said, it's about 2.80 meters across and really goes up a good 20 centimeters or so. So it's a big bit of power. Now, I know Sam has a huge gapping ability. 5 seconds left. If he's going to get these points, he's got to really go. Come on. Clock's running down. Last time. Long way across. Oh, that is a shame for Samuel. I know he's going to be annoyed with that, but he needs to just put that out of his mind now. Think about the next section. There's nothing else he can do.
And that 20 points in there. It's such a tough start here. Let's watch this again. He started so well, but then made his way into that end section. And this is really tricky, because although this looked really wide, one of the things you said to me earlier on, it is about nailing the top and nailing the centre of that slope.
Yeah,
and so it takes a lot of energy.
These concrete pipes are actually, although they're about 30 centimetres wide, but they're painted with like basically super slippery paint. So Thomas flying through, he's going to want to go quickly, and then I think he's going to try and have a break before gate 3. I would imagine that'd be his tactics. Both of these guys ride for the life cycle training crew, which is basically organised by one of the other top riders in the world, following his programme and both making finals, which is fantastic. Here we go. So holding on the back wheel, just sailing through here, looking pretty confident. And again, yeah, clearing that, no need to stay on the top of that. So these guys have got a lot of power, so they can just throw the bikes straight the way through. So taking a little bit of a breather there. Now I really think Thomas can do this gap. This guy can jump absolutely miles, but this is really high, and if you're slightly off angle and the back wheel slides, it's going to be a big crash. And you can see his brother there, Alexander, for safety, just in case he goes wrong. Come on, Thomas. Come on. Yes, there it is. Woo! Come on, Thomas. Yes. So good. So first rider through gate number 3. I'm really glad the organisers earlier on, they left it as a round pipe to start off with, and it was raised, that it was really dangerous, and it's still obviously a very challenging move. So here we go through gate 4, making his way up. He's just got to stay steady and keep moving now. 30 seconds left. Come on, Thomas. Keeping it moving. You've really got a motor now. Here we go. 25 seconds, 1 gate left. You can hear Carousel in the background shouting, come on. This is coach and trainer. Come on, hooking the front wheel now. One last big move. He's going to be really feeling it in his arms now. Yes, there it is. There it is, 60 points. Yes, Thomas, good start.
And with 8 seconds to spare on the clock. And
so important to get that gate 3, first try, big bit of power.
Unlocks the rest of the whole run then, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And once you break this, you could see as he came over, really, he nailed that, and he was stable on landing, wasn't he? It was
so
not like he
stable.
had to correct.
Yeah, fantastic. Really, really stable. And then pin that to the front wheel perfectly. As you can see, he's got the front rim brake on there. Most of these guys are now running a front rim brake and a rear disc, so you've got that pinning power on the front tyre. Here we go. Aloy Palau starts his bid for the World Champion title here in today's finals. The World Championships. Big gap straight across, so he didn't drop down. He didn't waste that time going down. He knows he wants to motor and give himself a bit of time just to prep up for this big gap here. Here we go. All right, lining up. You can see from there that the angle on that black piece of concrete he's got to land on. they put a bit of grip on there just so that they don't fly the back tyre out if it goes wrong. This is a huge gap. Oh, just through! Just through, and manages to throw his weight to the left and get right the way through that marker. So third gate, he's flying through so far, moving pretty quickly. Look at this, very rapid moves. No messing around from Malloy, like he's riding at home. Training with him in Catalonia last week, and he was looking really motivated. He knows that a win is totally possible here. 50 points so far, and he's got 40 seconds left. Looking really confident and dominant here. There we go, but you still have to be very, very accurate on this point. Look at this, back wheel right on the edge. Pin the front wheel, switching through to the back tyre. Out with 25 seconds left and 60 points per hour.
I mean, what a time as well. He's gone through, he went through incredibly fast, so breathing really hard, as always at the end of the run, but in part because he went through so quick. But it shows his confidence level. As he came over here, this was a lucky save.
Look at that tyre. Did you see it land on that slope, just squidge off to the side? Managed to like go full commitment on that.
And he's got to get between the tanks. So if you're watching this for the first time, the key here, 5 sections. This is section 1, the run is complete. They've got to go through each of those 6 set parts of the run, and in this they've got to keep it between the tanks. They've got to go through, and it's
whole centre line of the bike has to go straight through. So here we are with Charlie Rolls from the UK. Oh, and really, he's not through. The front axle was, there was definitely he's missed a gate. I believe he's missed a gate. He missed gate 3. Okay, Charlie is going to be absolutely livid about that.
So Charlie Rolls from the UK started his run. You see, he's going to take another look at this because they're saying that he went through. It's not a happy bunny there, that is for sure. So here we go.
The reason is that he went to gate 3 before he went through the final gate. So he went through the green one, and then he missed this gate here on the black one in front of your screen there, and he went straight through. The only thing is that actually, if the bike hasn't gone through the next gate, as far as I know, it's the rear axle, not the front. So this gate here, technically he hasn't gone through that gate. But I might be wrong, they're obviously going on the front axle, not the rear axle. Because at this point, a rider can obviously realise they've made a mistake and go back and do that line. So they may be checking the rules quickly there. But he was obviously so focused on that gap that he's kind of pushed through really fast. But all still to play for. It's an early time. And you see, he nearly did exactly the same. So Alejandro Montalvo here, starting. And he very nearly missed that gate as well that Charlie missed. The problem is when there's your crux move at that point in the section, you get so focused on that, you're like, right, just go straight, get there, rest, focus on that move. Exactly what he's doing there. Just really focusing solid. Got to line up and then a massive burst of power. Here we go, on the back wheel, lining up dead straight. So a really sharp angle on that edge. Yes! Come on, Alejandro. This guy has got some power. He's really developed his big power moves the last few years. But also a very, very technical rider, so he's really come on leaps and bounds. He's going to be definitely hoping he gets 60 points here. So on the back wheel, getting absolutely central on that 5 on the floor. Perfect with the back. And here we go.
Another 60 points to Montalvo.
Here we go, flying through. So he's got 26 seconds left. Going through gate 5, I believe that is. Dropping down, he's just got gate 6. So he's got 15 seconds to get this last move. And Alejandro can move when he needs to. Getting himself set. Here we go. 60 points for Alejandro Montalvo.
So the second to last rider to go through this second section, the second highest scorer in the semi-finals. He was 30 points behind the defending champion in the qualifiers, but he has gone through now. Charlie Rolls was the third best qualifier. He qualified immediately behind. He was only 30 points behind Alejandro. So we've got to see who is going to take this on, who can recover from this, but mistakes are so easy to make under pressure. Here we go,
Yeah,
defending champion.
Yeah, Borja is in on section 1. Let's see if he can keep up with the others and get a full 60 points. Still all to play for. I mean, although Charlie's got off to a bad start, and so has Samuel, though I've seen big comebacks where there's been mistakes later on in the competition and it goes swings and roundabouts. So let's just hope he can fight his way back from that. See what Borja's got here. Can he make this huge gap? I think he's going to get it. Come on. Just checking his time, making sure he's... normally when you walk through sections in your head as a rider, you kind of plan out your time and you think, right, I want to be here in 30 seconds, or have 5 seconds rest here. Just scrape that gap. You see that back tyre right on the edge, it kind of just almost gave way as he moved. Oh, first time we've seen a pedal straight up onto that. Very nice, really technical. And now he's trying to get a move on, 43 seconds. So these moves here are really just to eat up time. So rather than just being a challenge of straight difficult moves, it's also putting a bit of a pressure of you as a rider to move quickly under time. So yeah, he's 25 seconds left. So he's a little bit faster than Montalvo to here, so he knows he's got time to get this last move. Little switch to back wheel. You can see these pipes glistening. The back wheel's got no traction here. Cameraman as close as he can get. Here we go, 60 points for Borja as well.
Wow, so here we are. We are at the end of the first of our sessions through. We have 4 runners scoring 60 points. One with 20 and Johnny Russell with 10, but 4 riders tying at the top of the standings. You can see in this run, he was lucky not to go out there, wasn't he? It was really on the edge, and it was only quick reactions that got him off there.
I'll tell you what, this morning when we walked around the sections, when it was just painted with a sharp edge on the top, those guys definitely would not have made it. You know, that it would have just absolutely given way. So well done to the organisers for putting that bit of grip on there, because landing like that, the back tyre would have just flown away and it would have been some serious nasty accidents, and of course we don't want people getting hurt. That is not the idea. So good fighting chance. So there are your results so far. Charlie down there at 10 points, but still all to play for. 4 sections left to go, and Samuel starting his attack on section 2, already on gate 3 I believe. So this rock, you can't see from this angle, but it is really, really thin, and we saw some very bad crashes on this yesterday in the semi-finals. We had exactly the same gate, and it was incredibly tight. So just throwing his bike up to 2 wheels, so those tiny little edges. Samuel looking pretty focused here.
Well, he needs to pull this back, doesn't he? He was on 20 points. He was just off the bottom because of that mistake, jumping across the big gap, jump now onto the more natural features where there's a much more bigger variety actually of surface, isn't there?
Yeah, so here you've got to be so accurate. We're looking for, like, and this is a very, very tricky line. This is completely new for the finals. So really tricky. Oh yes, Samuel, come on. Yo! Managed to keep his foot off the floor there and just stay within the edge of the section. Hanging on for dear life by the looks of it. Going for this very, very technical movement there. Absolutely flowing nicely. Very quick hook. So he's got 15 seconds left. He's got 2 gates to go. Don't think he's going to get 60 points. Can he get this last one? He's made that look easy, and that is a monstrous rock. That rock, a couple of seconds left. Gate 6. This last move, that is monstrous. The hook he did before, just to give you a frame of reference, is literally taller than my head. It's about 6 foot tall, and he just sailed up it, making it look pretty chill. But there we go, 50 points. I'd say that's a pretty good score for Samuel. Little highlight, this is the second gate, big pedal up straight to 2 wheels. That's about 1m45, 1m50 pedal up. And then that rock there that he's just landed on is skinny and tiny and slippery. Didn't really see that, his foot was so close to
I think he was lucky that the commentators were the other side of the rock there, because that looked like he might not have touched it, but I think he was brushing it. There must have been like nothing in between. Oh, yeah, look, got to go back for this again.
Thomas is known for these big pedal up moves, so.
Oh, that surely was a hit there.
Yeah. He's got to keep his concentration together here. He's got a lot of power. Come on, Thomas. Got to keep moving.
So lights on the top left-hand side of your screen. Whippy fills that with red lights. That's it, run over. He's now in trouble because if he makes that 5 red lights, he's going to be pulled to a standstill. He's given away 2. Looking good though here, Andre.
Yeah, he's moving very, very smoothly and quickly. One thing to the next, and I see how he does on this, because this is a very, very tricky move, because where you're landing on the back wheel on that first rock is very, very upslope. So to keep your momentum moving forwards is really, really tricky. So back wheel, yeah, the little manual down the back wheel there as well. That's confidence for you right there. Technical little line. Over the top there. No,
technical. He was
no dramas.
Playing, isn't he?
He's not for him,
motoring, it's just, it's like straight through.
Yeah.
But he's got to move, hasn't he? He's only got 30 seconds left.
Yeah, and this is, you see there, we saw Samuel do that so easily, but the front wheel actually has to land. It's like a centimetre strip on the other side of that. Otherwise, exactly what happened there, it just slides off to the side. Maybe he's got a puncher. He get away with it. He got away with it.
He needs to have a little check, didn't he? Because he came sliding down there, and once you go offline, it's really sharp, isn't it? So if you get the edge just wrong, it can do damage. But the guys have to have 2 bikes, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody in the finals has 2 bikes, just in case. To be honest, in this format, if you have a major bike malfunction, you just literally don't have time to fix something. So you get a flat tyre, and you can see there that he's just missed the centre, and that left-hand side of the rock just slopes and disappears. So it actually is a triangle on top of that, so you have to land right the way over. So when you walk around, you have to give yourself a mental marker to look for. And Aloy flying up already through gate 1 onto gate 2, flying up the second gate onto that little point. Now this rock, this next one here, you can't see from this angle, but it is really, really skinny. So front wheel there, it's literally barely a tyre's width. You can see it wedges 2 wheels on there and through. Quickly onto the next moves. Really nice and technical bit of movement here. Switching through to back wheel and down. Come on, Aloy. Here we go. Aloy's pretty good at using momentum. Looks like he's taking a slightly different approach here to the other guys, which is interesting. Oh, straight to back wheel. I never saw that coming. Oh my God, that was awesome. So much harder than it looks. Amazing.
Very, very smart. And that is really inventive, isn't it? Because the guys don't get to ride this. You don't actually have a run at this. It's a walkthrough only to familiarise yourself with it. And there are changes to the course on the way through. And look at this.
You can see from that angle where his front tyre was just on the right hand side of the rocks. The only place it's going to grip. Now, he's got 28 seconds to do this last gate, and this is absolutely massive. So the last move here is really, really the crux. So he's gone really fast, giving himself enough time to have a good shot at this. Come on. Oh, he's done it. No way. That's awesome. Honestly, that is a huge move to finish. Another 60 points there for Aloy. So, sailing ahead there. Very good. Worked hard for that. So swift.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, very, very quick through there. And that is going to be a big help to him as he moves on in the competition. Let's take a little bit of a look back at that. I mean, on the back wheel, straight in, straight over. And sometimes Route 1 just the easiest option. Looking at that power.
Oh, so good. Also, I'm going to take this opportunity to say how beautiful is the background here in Abu Dhabi. Like, absolutely, they have the best sunsets. It's amazing.
You're getting distracted from the road by the scenery here in Abu Dhabi. Well, let's see what Charlie Rolls can do. He's got to make. He's got to be the comeback king here on the way through. Already burning some time. 20 points on the board and straight over there.
Straight over the 30-point gate as well. So just flying straight through. Now it'll be interesting because he's actually a left-footed rider rather than a right-footed rider. So this move is going to be very different for a lefty and for a righty. Because his left foot is forward, it means that that rock is going to be pointing into his good foot. So not very favourable for a lefty. But no worries for Charlie. So fast through there. Look at that. No messing around. Sailing over that. Yes, Charlie. Straight up to front.
Who needs to pause to breathe? I think he's just he's on a man on a mission now, isn't he?
He just keeps going. He just keeps going. Look, no hesitating. Get the front. There it is. Front tyre on that little point. Absolutely sailing. 37 seconds left.
He's clawed that. He's just like
unbelievable, isn't it?
Gonna go. I'm on a mission.
So
this
rapid.
is it.
He's like, right, I'm just gonna go. But this is big. This is just a pure power move. He's gonna. I guess he's gonna have to try and bounce the front through. Yeah, that is a long way up. Come on, Charlie. Here we go. Come on. Big effort. Big burst of power. He's close. 10 seconds left. Come on, Charlie. So close. Has he got it?
Has he got it? Did he get through in between the gates? They're going to give it to him.
They gave him 60. Is he 60?
Yeah, he's got a 60. Got
yes.
a 60.
Oh, he looks happy with that. Yeah.
That was a bit of a training mission there. It was
I'll
like
tell
he's
you
just
what,
doing a gym session.
That was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. Like, look at this move here, just straight through, brakeless over the top, and then this one just rolling in, casual up to front. Absolutely awesome.
And we've seen pauses, we've seen breaks to have a think about what they're doing. It's almost like just got to go.
I mean, his back tyre was literally on the limit there. Did you see that? It was like, it looked like it, I mean, to me, it looked like it was over the tape, but it must have been just on it. So,
wow.
Literally, that's what it comes down to, like millimetres. Here we go. So, Alejandro making his attack on this section. We saw some really horrible crashes on that move yesterday. Honestly, it was really bad. A couple of people had to retire because they just back tyre slipped off that because it's so much more slippery and smaller than it looks on your screens if you're watching at home.
Yeah, the TV screens always change it. We've been out, literally, you've ridden it, I've walked around it and looked at it. There's no way I'm going to go anywhere near it. And just thought, what the subtlety that you don't get on particularly on the screens if you're watching this is how sharp the edges are, how tiny the areas for grip, the precise placement that the guys are having to do. And again, we're seeing another fast run. So once the guys come around the turn, they're on that homeward leg.
They really know that the last two moves are the big difficult moves in this section. So they know that they need to give themselves just that little bit more time. And Alejandro sailing through gate 5, 50 points. He's got 35 seconds left. Nearly as fast as Charlie to this point. Here we go. Come on, big effort. Oh wow! Straight up. That is absolutely amazing. Flying through. This guy's sailing, keeping the pressure on for Borja.
Well, this is going to put the pressure on, indeed, onto the defending champion. What a run here by Alejandro. You could see as he moved into this last section, he really went in quick, and then straight over here, first attempt, no 3 bites to the cherry there, he was just straight in and over.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy. This move here, look, just inch perfect, sailing straight over. All right, here we go. We are with Borja Conejos. Let's see how he gets on this section. Yeah, no dramas. So 20 points so far. Going for a slightly different approach on this one. The other guys choosing to go on the other side. But again, like Charlie, he is left-footed. So see how he gets on with this move. Later on, there is a move that's biased the other way, so it'll be better for the lefties, not for the righties. So they've done a really good job of making this as fair as possible, whether you're right or left. So you really have to be able to ride absolutely everything. Makes you a much better all-round rider, I think.
And that's the foot that you favour, the foot that's got the most power, the one that you lead with.
All the time, he's always got his left foot forward, and then 2 of them are left foot, 4 of them are right foot. So, and little moves like this, when you're really close in with the bike, makes such a big difference. Here we go. Focusing on that top point. Yeah, no dramas. All right then, 30 seconds left. Just one last big move. Long way up this. Come on. Here we go. Has he got it? Oh, yes. I'll tell you what, I stood next to that and the low part is as high as my shoulder. That's amazing. Imagine that. So good.
Through.
These guys are sailing through. So we've got 3 riders on 120 points.
Absolutely flying. So we have at the moment Borja Conejos leading with 120, but on the same score as Alejandro Montalvo, as well as Aloy Palau. Behind then, 90 points for Thomas Pekaka, 70 for Charlie Roll, 70 for Samuel Laverty. So really tight behind as well. And remember, this is going to continue. 3 more sections to go, and now we hit the sand. This is a whole different way of riding, isn't it? Because this is incredibly difficult. If you've ever tried running or riding down a beach, this is about 100 times even harder, because you're not just trying to get forward momentum, these guys are trying to get takeoff as well.
Yeah, exactly. So as you compress, the sand kind of pushes away from underneath the tyre. You've got to be really accurate, and of course all of that then gets stuck on the tyres and then goes all over the rocks and everything you're riding on, so it just reduces all your friction. Now, big kicker movement here. I know Samuel's amazing at kickers, so I'm hoping he's going to get this big long way up. Oh, he hooks it, wedges onto the top, and unfortunately puts a foot down, so he loses the points for gate 3. But that is a very, very awkward move. Now, off of this little sharp pointy rock, that side view gives you a really good view of how pointy this rock is. That really small skinny edge. Try and switch the back wheel, pin the front wheel up on top of the big tower.
So with him now having that point up there, it means he can't score any points from here, but he's still got to get through the gate. He can't just bypass it.
Yeah, so it's actually it's a good question, because I'm not sure if the judges would have given him the points for the previous gate and then let him get the points from the gate from this, or whether they would have taken the points away from the previous gate. I think from the previous gate, because there's a 0 up there on gate 3. So now he can get the full 10 points for gate 4. Did he manage to keep that clean? I think he did, yeah. So he'll get another 10 points as he drops down. Oh, no, he didn't. He did actually touch his cranks on the top of that one.
It's so marginal, isn't it? And that's why there are 2 commissaires, 2 referees stood on the side, and double foot down there.
You see there where he put his foot down, you see his foot just fly off down that slope. That shows how slippery it is. It is really slippery with the sand on.
If we thought it was difficult before, this is now so much more technical.
It's a whole different element trying to ride. You know, it's a great way of showing who's not just powerful, not who can just be good with placement, but also riding under these different conditions. You can see the sand there flying off his tyres as he's pushing in, and that there you can't really see from this angle, but that is actually well over head height. You can see as the commissioner comes round. You know, it's a good sort of 7 foot in the air.
Yeah, they're not short commissioners. The commissioners are really they're 6
they're
foot.
Not short. Yeah.
You know, it's not like we've got the world's smallest guys judging this. They are absolutely. You know, these guys are all ex-riders. They all know this, and you can see just how tough it is. So here we go. Thomas Pekaka coming on and already scoring 10 on his way through. But this sand is really adding another dimension. And of course, we've still got the palm trunks to go. We've got the waterfall section at the end. So it's just ramping up the pressure on the guys, isn't it?
Yeah, so section 3, Thomas making quick work of this. But yeah, it's good that each section has a slightly different element. You need a slightly different style. It's not kind of, if it's all rocks and it's all on solid floor, you kind of know where you are, but this really adds another element, having the sand and the grass. And look at that, hook straight to back wheel. Thomas, obviously known for his bunny hopping power, so really flying up that, making light work of that. And he's going to want to stay on as many points as he can. 4 riders, sorry, on 120 points after 2 sections, so he's going to want to try and get 60 points on this as well. Up to back wheel, pinning the front wheel. He was world champion in 2018, and he's at least 10 times Austrian champion. Nicknamed Arnold, for obvious reasons. Look at that, flying through, 40 points already. Come on, Thomas, 30 seconds left. Try and get 60 points. You can see him fighting with his back wheel in the sand there. Yeah, hooking the front wheel way over the top. Now he's got a big amount of power in his leg, so he can really pull up high. 50 points. Now this last move is a huge forward hook. He's got 15 seconds. Come on, Thomas. Whoa, that is a little bit taller than me. Probably nearly 1 meter 80, I would say. Just not enough power to do that at the end. He's dying. Look, look at him shaking his arms out from holding that brake so hard.
Wow.
50 points though.
That was, I mean, you could see he got close. That last section,
close.
he's got to get up and he's got to hook. So when you're talking about hook, that is landing the tyre over the top and into the next surface. To
There's
give that
two types of
adhesion.
hooks. So that one you see in there where he bunny hops and hooks. If you're hooking on a flat surface, obviously you can't stop and pull on the front wheel. So you actually need to have enough forward momentum and just keep moving through. So you can see he's going to hook the front wheel over so you can actually stop and pull back on the front tyre. But if it's flat on top, you don't have that option. So when it comes to these flat hooks, straight up, it's a completely different thing. You need to hit it with so much forward momentum to be able to keep going. So here we are with Aloy. Let's see what he's got. Okay, here we go. That is definitely Aloy. It says Borka on my screen, but it is Aloy as he works his way through. He's onto the run up, the big kicker, the third gate. See what he's got. Oh, yes! A hook to front wheel, just stalling on the front wheel there. Aloy looks like he's kind of in the zone there, chilling quite nicely. If you see riders going sort of like very casual, it's usually a good sign. It means they've got that bit of flow state, as they call it in climbing, where you're just flowing through the section, doing your thing. Nice sharp point, front to back, and all just staying in the lines there. He nearly lost his balance on the top of that. Switching through to back wheel. All right, here we go, on to gate number 5. Back wheel, big gap across. It's actually a really, really long way to gap off that rock. Put the little rock in so you don't just have to come out the sand. And then he's going for this next static one. No rock there to come off, just starting in the sand. Trying to press the sand under the back tyre. He's looking a little bit tired here.
You just see him pushing his body weight about a little bit more, just a sign of just getting tired, just not maybe as in control as he wants, and he's still got this big move to do.
And 20 seconds left, so you can see when you start to fatigue like that and you're falling backwards, for these guys, normally it's because they are fatiguing in their arms a little bit, back gets a little bit tired. Big hook. Oh, he's so close! Come on, that was really, really close.
He's running out of time, he's got to go.
Come on, Aloy. No, just, you can see, this is where having the big move at the end really makes it so difficult. Now, I don't want to call it, I don't know, commentator's curse, isn't it, when you say like, oh, he's going to do this, but, you know, I think Charlie can do this next. Aloy was so close, and Charlie's a very quick rider. So.
You could be eating your words here. Let's see what happens.
Oh, God. Don't let me down, Charlie.
No pressure here. So, Aloy goes, so you could just see, he almost got this.
So close.
And it's that critical point, isn't it? The rear tyre. You've got to get the axle almost just hopping up and over. He'd have been there.
The thing is all these guys in practice, you know, you could go and roll up to that move and probably, I mean, I know I could, like a lot of us could go straight up that. But once you've done 5 moves already and the clock is ticking, you don't have any recovery time. It's like you got 5 seconds and then you just got to go. That is a whole different ball game. So Charlie, what's he going to do here? Hook, front wheel, no worries for Charlie. Here we go, dropping down. How many seconds has he got? 45 seconds gone so far. So 1 minute 15 remaining. Come on, Charlie. So this is actually tricky because it's pretty close. So normally if you've got a bit of space forwards, it means you can drop the front wheel and generate that forward momentum. But as it's so close, you've got to really just lift straight up. Charlie, yeah, straight into that hook. Look at that, flying over. So yeah.
So this is just about really trying to get there as fast as possible now to get into that last move. Just coming up slightly off to the side there, wasn't he? Is that a sign just getting maybe a little tired with all these big power moves?
No, he actually doesn't look tired. I think he's actually almost the opposite. He's actually relaxing because he just pushed straight through. So he didn't keel over to the side or back or anything. He was actually just like, I'm good. I'm just going to let my tyre drop. He's pretty relaxed now. Come on, Charlie. You know you can do this. Come on. Oh.
Attempt 1, 15 seconds left.
15 seconds left. It's hard because it is a short run up as well. Oh, not quite. 8 seconds. Come on, Charlie. As he's got time for one last big try. Come on. No, too much. It's just too much. And a little backward stoppie there.
Close.
Oh, good effort, Charlie. Good effort. So 50 points for Charlie. So it's a shame because on that first section he really would have been in the mix.
So, good run here by Charlie, trying to recover from that early mistake.
Yeah.
And just a matter of getting in and through. And it shows you there's just the last section there. And as you said, more a case of just being really relaxed as it comes up and over. And then a bit of showboating at the end. Maybe we're going to see a little bit more of the flamboyance come back. And maybe it's got a bit more relaxed. But this is the difference in style, isn't it, between the riders. So here we go.
Absolutely. So Alejandro, let's see how he gets on in section 3. So making his way into this second gate. Very, very technical. You can see the back tyre there sliding all over the place. So it actually looks kind of flat, but when you're there on the back wheel, that rock just slides. I did this exact move yesterday 3 times, and it just slides all over the place. You've got to be absolutely on exactly the right point. Here we go. Building up for this big kicker move, rolling in, big pull, hooking the front wheel up to back tyre. Here we go. Down into the sand. Get himself set up for this next move. So he's moving pretty quickly, he's on good time. Almost as quick as Charlie to this point. So nearly on half his time as he goes up for the 4th gate. Right off that point, he's super solid with those front wheel moves. Alejandro choosing to, instead of, we saw Thomas gap off that rock, you can see just down on the floor there, going static from the floor and just throwing that front wheel up and through the markers. So like we said, when you go through the markers, it has to be both axles and the centre line of the bike, and that's what these judges are looking for. And the commentator there with his hand in a fist, every time they touch a pedal, touch part of the bike, or touch their feet, that will literally signify 1 point deducted, and they can have a maximum of 5 points. Hand down, that signifies that you've fallen off the bike, or both feet over one side of the bike and on the floor. That means you completely fail. You have to stop where you are in the section. So here we go. Alejandro, 15 seconds. Can he get it? Oh, he's done it! First one through. Oh, so he's taken a lead for the first time. We've been able to separate the top 4 riders, just 10 points ahead until Borja takes his run in just a few moments.
So great to watch this run coming in. You can see it up and over, very, very smooth, so precise. There's no landing and then correcting. It's land absolutely spot on and then nailing absolutely everything around here. And you can see those big pull-ups really do suit him. And this really played to his strengths, didn't it? Straight over the top.
So good, eh? So good. After all of those other moves.
So here we go, defending champion out on the course. Remember, this is section 3 of 5. They were tied at the end of the last round. The question is going to be, who can take this out and away? Will this be elite? Will it be?
Is it going to be Borja? Is he going to be able to get 60? So this is where Alejandro could start edging away. Could start edging away for his first ever World Championship win. He's won the overall World Cup before, won various World Cup rounds, lots of Spanish championships, but never won that rainbow jersey, that ever so elusive coveted rainbow jersey. So here we go. Alejandro is definitely not going to be taking it easy.
So 1 minute done, 1 minute to go. So he's got 1 minute left on the clock, still coming in around here. And Andre, as the defending champion, the pressure was on him coming in, wasn't it? It was, you've got yours to defend.
It's interesting between these 2 Spanish guys. Of course, they compete a lot together, and it's a lot of forward and backwards. And there seems to be a bit of time when Alejandro is dominant, and a bit of time when Borja's dominant. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top on this one, because I don't know. This is going to be interesting. But 28 seconds, he's given himself a good amount of time to get this move. He is incredibly powerful. I'd say for outright power, he's maybe just a little bit more powerful. Has he got the power and endurance to get up this massive hook at the end of the section, starting just off the wood? You can see limited run up. Oh, he's so close. 10 seconds. This could be it. Alejandro could take a slight lead. Come on. No. He's going to go 50. So that's it. Montalvo is ahead after 3 sections, only by 10 points. Hell of a lot to play for. And another 120 points left in the competition over the next 2 sections. So who knows what could happen? But
I thought you were going to get off that fence of yours then.
No.
So close, man. And I mean, this run, you could see across here, he just didn't quite seem as confident coming into the end. He left it a long time between the 5th and the 6th set of obstacles.
The thing is, you need to do that just to get your breath back, because, of course, if you're going for a 1 rep max in the gym, you have a 5-minute rest period. These guys are talking like 10 seconds, and you're going for a move that is really hot. I mean, that hookup was actually probably the world record only a couple of years ago. That would have been a world record forward hookup. So, you know, that's pretty crazy to be doing that after all of this in the middle of a competition as well.
So here we go, Samuel Laverty on to his 4th section, the first one where we really see these palm trunks in use. And these palm trunks, they're a fibrous bark on the outside, and that makes it very, very difficult because it's not consistent, it's super grippy in places, but it's also really textured and
and also
it
can kind of like pull away as well. So, Samuel, I think he's got one on that. Yeah, that is a very... So actually, just going to what I was saying earlier, where it was biased for a right footer, that is the move that's biased for a left footer. So it's going to be slightly easier for the 2 riders that are left footed in this competition. So just to even things out, they put in one way and one the other. Going for that big side up move. And like you were saying, yeah, that it's a very textured kind of wood. So it's very different to what we're used to. And you can see there, he's just slipped backwards. And that's because if you hit it forward, because it's kind of dusty and fibrous material, or material, it just kind of, it can pull back quite easily. So you have to really be on top of it. Here we go.
And he's in last chance saloon. He's on 4 red lights, 1 more. He's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that is a shame. Samuel's not having the best ride ever, but he's still in the finals. That's the important bit. That's quite interesting. So I didn't even think of that. He went backwards through that gate. So what he's done there is actually approached the gate from behind the gate, gone up and then gone backwards, because you don't have to go front axle first. So it makes no difference if you go forward or backwards through a gate. So it means you can be really creative. And that move he's done there is very, very awkward. 17 seconds. Switching straight through, that's another 10 points. And he's on to the last bit. Yeah, that is it. This is a huge move here. Really, really big move to finish.
It's a big move to finish with no time, and he'll know it was running out, so taking the options.
Is that 30 points? 30 points, I believe.
It is indeed 30 points on section 4, so his total score 120 at the moment. And you can just see on this run, because he was on that last chance, one mistake and he's going to be in trouble, but some creative riding as well, which is really important.
Yeah, so you see this move that he just did there, that is super, super technical riding. So his back wheel is really, really low and the front wheel is really high. It makes it very, very steep for the bike. So you have to push the back wheel out underneath you and throw your shoulders straight over the top. So very unnatural movement for most people that ride bikes. And here we go with Thomas Pekaka, the Austrian Oak. Come on, here we go. So big pedal up straight to back wheel, straight over that there. Just going to loop round, approach this. So instead of like side hopping up through, trying to stay on the beam and then go off of it, it's actually sometimes just quicker and more efficient to go straight over, round and loop through. These are what you call open sections. So the section markers are quite open and you just have to go through the gates in the section. You can use any approach you like within that area. So you can see here, he is a right-footed rider. That's an upslope he's taking off of, and he's got to try and throw the front tyre up over the top of that. You can see the 2 markers on the downslope in the middle of your screen there. Try and get the bike underneath it. Now he went to Bashgar and took a 1, but actually for a right-footed rider, that is so tricky. And I think it's going to be very hard to see a right-footed rider clean that move.
And the bash guard is basically underneath where the pedals are, underneath the chain wheel. So it's to stop damage to the base if you do hit into the object. But by doing that, he stabilised the bike, and that stabilisation was worth giving away 1 on rather than a failure. To be able to then move on and through, maybe he's getting a few more points.
So he's lost the points for that 1 gate, but it's okay. He can carry on and get all the points for the rest of the gates. And here we go. Let's see if we can get this one here. Very steep hook.
Incredibly difficult play.
Whoa, quick straight through. They've given him a 5. I think his axle must have just missed something there. So he looks like he's stopped at 20 points for that section. That is a shame.
Well, that is going to shake things up. Let's go through, because at the moment we've got Samuel Laverty at 120 points, we've got Thomas at Pekaka at 160 points. Let's have another look at this. Just going to see, I think some of these moves he was absolutely superb, and then all of a sudden it just seemed to, the wheels almost fell off there.
The wheels did fall off that bike. Yeah, so you can see here, yeah, there where he switches up his back wheel, clearly over the tape there. That is a really, really tricky move. I actually walked it earlier and I thought, you know, you've got to be so accurate, very, very close to the marker. I think there, speed is your friend. The faster you go forwards and hit it quickly and go, the more likely you are to stay forwards. And he was a little bit slow on the approach. Let's see how Aloy gets on with it. Good pedal up, look at that. Showing his balance and control. Doing very, very well. So, like I said, coming back from a big injury a couple of years ago, and he came back with a lot of motivation. Couldn't ride for quite a long time. Oh, yes, Aloy! That is such a tricky pedal up. Oh my God, that's awesome. So keeping that momentum up that beam and then up to back wheel on the top of that is spectacular. And this is interesting here. So he found a sneaky cheat line there. That's where instead of going from the floor, he's seen that you can just kind of sneak around off of a low point. Got to be very accurate, but as you can see, he made it very, very quick. So let's see what you can do on this gate where Thomas unfortunately didn't quite make it. Hooking, yeah, no dramas for Aloy. And looks like he's going to be doing that backwards move. So one little hop to the side and just bringing the centre line of the bike back through. So far, clean on this section. 40 points, he's doing really, really well. For the moment, he is out in first place. Yes, hooking, front to back wheel, staying on the back tyre. What? How did he hold that? Oh, look at this, flying through. He is absolutely quite right. This is the big move. This is the move that we were wondering, can anybody do it? 25 seconds. He's got this and then two other sections of this last very... Yes! Oh my God, yes! Yes, Aloy, that is huge. Honestly, absolutely huge. 10 seconds, 60 points. Oh my God, what a legend. Wow. Yes, Aloy.
Well, that has put the cat amongst pigeons because that is really going to move him up. 230 points, a perfect score on the way through. He's actually only dropped 10 points in four sections. 10 points in four sections. That's
going to be a very close race.
That is so tight. And as all these sections change, you can see this.
Look at that.
He was at home on this, wasn't he?
That was. He nearly held it and turned to the right and went through. Thought, no, I'm going to go round. I've got the time. It's all good. That's amazing. Right, Charlie, come on, buddy. Let's see what he's got. Hopefully, he's going to roll in and have a bit of fun here. Come on. Oh, and we've just cut to... Okay, so he nicely floated up that. So he goes. So he's a left-footed rider, so he can put the front wheel to the side there. Space for the pedals to go up and around that move. Oh, that was very, very close, because there's actually a pink gate at the bottom of that, so you can't ride along that bottom move.
And he's got one red light up on there, so I'm not quite sure where he clipped that on the way through.
But just clipped his pedal there. Straight through. I think he's decided he's not going to get a podium, he's just going to float around and do his thing. Pretend he's not even in a competition. Come on, Charlie, fly up this. Yeah, no worries. And then this little backwards move as well. There it is. So another 10 points, up to 30 points for Charlie, halfway through his time. So this really tricky overhanging hook. If you saw that from the side, yeah, commissionaire in his way. Yeah, cameraman definitely in the way there.
Yeah, he'll be getting warning off the commentators. I'll warn the cameraman as well as the riders.
Worse. I've had it when you're like, I'm just going to smash into you if I go now. Here we go. Come on, Charlie. Yes! Yes, he's done it!
Just inside you could see that flag was almost just moving as he clipped it.
Really, really good. Yes,
over the top. So there we go.
50 points.
Dropped that one little touch on the way through. Maybe we'll get a little rerun of that on the way round. He's like, yeah, not sure. Maybe it's okay, but I think that's a good run.
I think that sixth gate, getting through that, yeah, this is where it was. He just overbalanced slightly. I think as he went, Oh, they didn't show it. That is a shame. But this move here, that's monstrous. That's awesome. Really good. Flying through, nearly hitting the cameraman. They're definitely getting a little bit up close. That's not the kind of feature view I want to see.
Super, super close.
Nice.
Great to see just the detail as they come in. So here we go, 2 riders to go, and Charlie's going to watch on here as Alejandro goes into this section.
Yeah, so Alejandro, again, look at that, straight in, no messing around. Little bounce to the front wheel, off onto that, and then holding his balance very, very nicely. Looks like he's going to go for the fast approach as well. Pedal up again. Oh, yes. That is, honestly, that is such a hard move. They're making it look casual, but it is so, so difficult.
And seriously fast, isn't he? This is, I
really
mean,
fast.
look at the clock. We're on 30 seconds burn, and he's right down at the end of the course. And
Yeah.
he's starting to make his way back very shortly. So clearly on a bit of a mission to get into the end with a little bit of time, I think.
Yeah, as you can see, he's so confident with that that front wheel technique on the pedal up that with these big rounded edges, he's really good at just bouncing the front tyre and using that momentum to bring the back wheel up a little bit higher, and you force the handlebars forwards. And again, he's really made sure that leaned a little bit to the right, taking the back tyre nice and high. And here he's just going to go up to back, little hop sideways, just so he goes through that plane of the markers there. And he's got this very, very awkward hook. 45 seconds left. Lloyd watching closely because he knows he's kind of, as they're all friends and they don't want everybody to go wrong and they train together and everything, but equally Lloyd's going to be watching going, please don't make this, Alejandro.
Well, he's had one bite of the cherry at the
Yeah.
moment. He's on second attempt now.
He's struggling. He needs to kick the back wheel out a little bit steeper. If he can get that back wheel a bit steeper, there it is. Yeah, staying on the back tyre. Look at that. Yes, very nice. Now he's 14 seconds to his last gates. Can he get it? Oh wow, that was a big move. So quick. 5 seconds.
So close time-wise.
Oh, did he get out? He's made it. That was unreal. 5 seconds for the last move. Ah, madness. He wants to win. Wow.
240 points to Alejandro. Eloy's got 230.
And we've still got Borka to come, who is right in there as well. So that hookup on the previous section, literally like we said, like the 10 points just makes such a difference.
So perfect score for Alejandro at the moment, but he was
Absolutely
running so
perfect.
tight that taking 3 goes at that obstacle cost him so much time.
I know.
mean, he had to motor through and just.
But that's the thing
not
with
think-
Alejandro. It's like he just clicks into another gear and goes like, oh, I've just got to go fast now. So he just stops playing around. He's like, I've just got to go quick, and just flies. So Borka, left-footed rider, so he can just sneak the front wheel up to the side. Little shunt up 2 wheels, nice and smooth down to the floor. Try not to hit the cameraman on the way. Really quickly working through here. Just going to go for this little sneaky, accurate line there. So it's just a little stump on the side. You can sneak around that marker.
Call it sneaky. It's in the rules and it's
in the
smart
rules.
riding.
It's sneaky / very clever. And yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of like the kind of like very technical riding. So where I'll look at something and think, yeah, I can spin around that 180 and land on my front wheel, and everybody else is like, I don't get how that works, you know. But it's good. You've got to work these sections to your strengths, you know. And yes, no worries. So he's gone through that nice and straight. Halfway through his time, 40 points, 2 gates left. Come on, Borka. Let's see if he's got this awkward hook. We saw the other guy, we just saw Montalvo struggling with a little bit. Oh yeah, straight, pinning the front wheel on the top.
And it gives him 40 seconds left, just under 40 seconds to go. So
Yeah.
he's got plenty of time, saving a lot of time because of that.
So looks like this could come down to the last section as well.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens on that last section, because it really is a combination of everything put together. We will see who's got that. Let's see what he can do. Oh!
And that's it. He's got a point. There's no point in carrying on because you can't get the points to the last gate. He's going to be a bit annoyed with that. But 50 points. So 240, 230, 220 at the top of the leaderboard so far.
Let's see what this is going to do. It's going to have that jumble. Here we go. So 2:20 for the defending champion. And he was so quick, it looked so good. Did he almost just take his foot off the gas?
Well, he overpowered the back wheel. So basically, it's like looping out. So the back wheel just flies out underneath. And because obviously there's nothing underneath here, it's just boom, straight underneath. It's all about timing with trials. So you have to get the power in the pedals, the rotations, and then lift at the right time. And if you're a split second too late, the back wheel flies out underneath, especially when it gets to these really big moves like this. So here we go, we've got Samuel Laverty starting section 5, the last section of the finals here. Let's see how he gets on. Now this is a very, very different element. This could really, really change everything because you've got water, sand, brakes that don't work, no grip on your tyres. Tricky, awkward movements over these rocks.
Apart from all that, it's a piece of cake, really.
Yeah, other than that, you know, no drama.
No dramas. Well, let's see if we get a drama out of Samuel Laverty. He's in 6th position. He'll be looking to try and move up into the top 5. And still plenty of opportunity for people to make mistakes and drop points in here. And the water absolutely pouring back off the back wheel of the bike, just trying to keep everything clear of the sand, minimise the contact, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he went through the water with the front wheel out of the water, just to keep that, like, you know, the minimal amount of sand and keep that front brake working as much as possible. Because obviously you can see there he's got a rear disc and a front rim brake. Rim brakes just don't work as well as disc. Oh no, just overbalanced to the right. Oh, Samuel. Still, finalist at the World Championship is pretty epic. Team Slovakia should be very proud of him.
Well, he stands up there almost as tall as the nation's tower, hiding the bike down on the sand, and that's his competition done. It is going to be a 6th place today for Samuel Laverty in theory, but I think that's going to be in practice. Realistically, there's no way that we're not going to see Thomas Beckhacker get at least a few points on the way through this next section. We should keep him just inside that top 5. So good run, but just a mistake up on the rocks. And if you've not seen the women's competition, we're not going to give you any spoilers. Make sure you watch it because it's absolutely superb, particularly building into its climax towards the end of the competition. And then we're seeing the same here once again. Great course design that really has ramped up the pressure as we've gone through the competition.
Yeah, it's very, very different to a lot of the World Cups and World Championships we've had for the past like 3, 4, even 5 years. So I think here, personally, my personal opinion is it's a lot more varied in what we're riding, which really shows which riders have the best all-round ability. It's not just power, it's not just technical. It's really a bit of everything that is trials and a lot more kind of old school, if you like. And this section here is a lot more of a kind of old school style section. God, you can see Thomas there. He's actually, you might think it's water, but it's actually just sweat because it is boiling here in Abu Dhabi, of course. And these guys are melting. Last night we were riding 4 hours of competition yesterday, so absolutely boiling here.
You've got to get those fluids back on board, or we might joke about the amount of water that's out in the pond there, out in the little lagoon. But actually, it's more importantly, it's
Thomas. Oh no! So he's not going to be happy with that. Not going to be happy with that, but it shows how slippery these rocks are because he's trying to get himself set up to go to back wheel. And actually, this next move, tiny little point there, you see the tyres just sliding. If you're not really far forwards on that, tyres just slide it back.
Commentator's curse could have almost been in effect there, so it's going to be 180 points there for Thomas Beckhacker coming through, scoring 20 points in that section. So stays up ahead. We're going to see if he's going to make the top. He should do. Should be in there. Will he get top 4? Can he make it anyhow?
I get the feeling that Charlie Rolls will probably get more than 10 points in this. So I would say that you know.
I'm going to touch wood very quickly that we see a long run through here. We're not seeing people get round to turn at the end of the section. We're coming in through, up over the boat, coming through the water and into the sand. And it's that mix, isn't it? It's that complete composite of the water, the
see
sand,
the back tyre there and the slow-mo flying off. Because that's actually, it looks quite wide, that rock, but it's really thin. You have to land in exactly the right place, slightly to the left-hand side. And also, like we were saying, you have to go fast because it's long sections, it's a lot of gates, a lot of moves. But if you're trying to move fast and you have low grip, then you're going to put your tyre in slightly the wrong place. That's it, you're gone. You're going to slide off and you're going to lose all your points. So Eloy now knows that he has to have a very solid ride on this section. He's got to move quickly and solidly in order to keep the pressure on the other guys and hope that he can stay ahead and let them make a mistake. So looking for all these little points. Oh, look at that. He's just absolutely flown through it. Yeah, no messing about at all.
Like it wasn't there, but you saw the depth of the sun as he landed there, that front wheel planted down in, and just, I don't think he really even needed his brake on there, he just came to a standstill.
Okay, so this move here is so difficult. I've seen 4 different ways of people trying this. We had this in the semi-finals, and that was awesome, because the rock that he's come off to set up on is actually such a slope on the back wheel. So you've got to throw your weight into it and move before it slides. 2 more gates to go, 40 seconds. Yes, Eloy, come on. Keep the pressure on. Now, 2 last moves. Little move. He's going to drop down to a rock in front of him. He can't quite see it. It's just below the screen there. Well, he's going straight across the front. 60 points. Woo!
Get in there.
Yes, Eloy.
Look
Come
at that. He's
on.
absolutely cleaned it. He has dropped 10 points.
Missed 1 gate in the whole
Across the
competition.
competition. What a result. That is some going, and
Stunning
what a
riding.
move there.
Now, the pressure is really on. Alejandro knows now that he's got to finish on 60. He has to finish on 60. If he doesn't, he's going to give away another World Championship title again, which I'm sure he doesn't want to do. But Eloy, he's been so close.
So
He's
it's
so
decided
close
on
now.
points. When we get to the end, it then goes back to the position in the semi-final.
Absolutely, yep.
And in the semi-final, just to remind people, we had Eloy finishing at 3 positions ahead. Sorry, 3 positions behind Borja. So it's all going to come down to who finishes where, if they're on the same points. But it means that it's going to come down to these moves. It's what can they deliver?
We've got 3 more riders to go. I mean, Charlie, I think, I'm kind of hoping Charlie does quite well on this section, because this is much more like he rides back in England. Basically rain, slippery, horrible rocks.
You're trying to say it rains a lot and the rocks are slippery.
Yeah, we were out training in Spain. It was nice and sunny and warm, and then I saw the videos of him training on kind of green, slippery, horrible rocks. So look at that. You see, and that is why. That is why on this he's so good.
And straight to the rocks as well on the way down, so he didn't dive into the sand. So
And he's
again,
got a minute left as well. Look, he's rapid on this. He's got a good amount of time. A different approach. He's gone for the pedal up through the sand. And how do you pedal up through sand? I don't know. Ask Charlie. Right, getting that power from that run up. No idea how he's done it. Come on, Charlie. 44 seconds left to get these last 2 gates. Similar, or maybe just a bit quicker than Eloy previously. Hooking the front wheel. Not a lot of grip there at all. Yes, the back tyre dropping down. So he has 1 last gate. He wants to get 60 points. Getting the crowd going. Come on, Charlie. That's it. That's what we like. Bit of noise. Huge gap to front. Oh! It was so close. So close. Come on, Charlie. 5 seconds. He's not going to do it. He knows it's not going to make a difference to the result. He was so close.
50 points though. Good score. Just that last gap.
He's
not
showing
quite
that
making
he's
it.
really up there, but he's going to finish in 4th place. So it's going to be a clean sweep for Team Spain on the podium now.
Who's going to be wearing those medals in what order? Who's going to get that rainbow jersey? It's not going to be Charlie Rolls. A really flamboyant display, even winding the crowd up towards the end as he went through, and he's got to regret missing out on that gate on the very first
it's like
section.
we saw with Vera as well earlier on, you know, like you make a little mistake and then
you can be in trouble, and it's going to put real pressure on. You'll have to watch the women's to find out, was she able to make it come and the comeback on the way through. Make sure you give it a watch. Absolutely astounding to see the women in action, and there was drama all over the place, just like we've seen here today in the men's. This the very final section, and now we're into our last 2 riders.
Okay, Alejandro Montalvo so far, he's clean. He knows he needs to finish on 60 points. If he gets 60, that's it. He's going to be world champion. So the pressure is on to stay completely steady and solid as he moves through this. Come on, Alejandro. A lot of concentration. Needs to hang around, but not too much. Oh no! 20 points. 20 points. So far, oh, that means Eloy has jumped into first place for the time being with just Borja that could possibly throw him off the top.
Absolutely
Oh
gutted,
my
isn't
God,
he?
Alejandro, that's unbelievable. I'm really, really sad for Alejandro there because
It was that section, as you said, you went up and the wheel slipped sideways. And look at the reaction that we're going to see, what we're going to see. So Borja Cornet has just got himself a chance at now going into either a gold or silver medal position. At the moment, Eloy, well, he is going to be in with either gold or silver here.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be world champion or silver, and he's got to be pleased with that. Question is, will it be top spot? So Alejandro, silver medalist last year to Borja.
If Borja can make 60 points,
Here we go.
Actually, no. Borja can't. Borja needs. He can't win. Borja can't win. Even if he makes 60, that's it. Borja's going to be second or third.
Which means it is going to be the World Championship, isn't it? So that was one point.
So Eloy.
Wow. And it came down to those points, hasn't it? So this is almost now going to be about salvaging some pride. He may not be able to defend it, but he could be in with another medal. He's not going to give it away, is he?
No, absolutely not. I think he's going to be going as well. Second place is still very insanely impressive. Just to make the final here in the World Championships. People train their entire lives, never even make a semi-final, so to be here riding the finals is absolutely incredible. Come on,
this is that move.
Yes. Sailing through. Come on. 49 seconds left, halfway through the section.
So he's currently behind Montalvo. He's got to keep pushing here.
Yeah, he needs another 10, 20. Oh, just. So he's got to get through 4B there. There he's through.
He's not hanging around. He's got 25 seconds to go.
He needs this gate. He needs this gate to jump, I think. Oh! Slipped, it's gone. 40 points. Now I believe that's going to go back to count back. Does that mean, oh, both on 260. If it goes back to the previous, then it will be Borja in second. But for the moment, our scores are showing us Alejandro is second, and Eloy is our new world champion. Wow. Absolutely incredible riding there from all of our riders.
I don't think he can quite believe that his championship has just ended there with that, because that move cost him, and it's cost him, and it's all come down to the very final sections, hasn't it? And it's come down. This is the medal.
You can see how slippery the rocks are. It just shows you, like, you're slightly wrong. It looked like he was in the right place to me, and it's gone. So
it came down to the finest of margins here. And I think there's still a little bit of disbelief in here as Eloy Palau becomes our 2022 UCI Trials World Champion in the men's 20-inch elite. Behind it is, we get this down as being Borja in second place with Alejandro in third. That is subject to confirmation, because of course that is all got to be checked and ratified by the commissaire team, the race referees here. But look at this, I mean, superb riding by all of the competitors, but
incredible. But Eloy really winning it on that last final move. That was super exciting. And this move here, huge gap, pinning the front wheel, absolutely awesome riding there by Lau. I'm absolutely made up for him being world champion like that. He fully deserves it. Fantastic riding. I mean, to come back, like I said, he had a really bad. He quite literally got blown up. Him and Sergio Longueras. So
to come back from that, a bronze medal last year,
really affected. He couldn't move his left hand properly, or his right hand, sorry, for quite a long time. His fingers were all torn apart. They weren't sure if he was going to be able to ride again, and here he is, world champion.
Well, I wouldn't recommend it as a route to get to a world championship title for anybody by any stretch of the imagination. You see something out there out and riding, don't mess back. Now here we go, confirmed. 40 points on there with Eloy up at the top of the standings. and it is going to come down to those final points. We're just going to get that double checked on the way through. That's what the timing systems are saying. A bit further down from the top three, Charlie Rolls in 4th place, then Thomas Peckhacker coming through in 5th position, with Samuel Latti coming through into 6th place.
So that was very spectacular. We're going to go over in just a few moments and talk to our winner, our new world champion.
So some great riding here today and some great action, and the course design today has been astounding. I think it's brought us right in to the finale from this really technical gap jump right on the very first sections. You could see that he really meant business and gave it a real almost perfect run. I mean, dropping
look at this,
literally 10 points. I mean, that is astounding, and you could say a very worthy winner on a course that showed all the skills that you need.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a very well-rounded course. There was a lot of different moves, and it shows that these guys have been training in all the right ways. And especially that last section, just the mixture of water and sand, it's pretty much the worst, a trials rider's nightmare. But it really means that you have to be so accurate all the time.
Well, what a great run here today, and you can just see an astounding move as it goes up over the top.
Incredible riding. Well done, Eloy.
So a man who did an astounding job out on the course. Let's catch up with our 2022 world champion.
What a final to become UCI world champion here in Abu Dhabi. How are you feeling right now?
Honestly, I'm just like flying, or I never had this feeling before. It's amazing. It's the thing that you work years and years, and someday maybe yes, maybe not, you can achieve it. So yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I'm feeling super excited and super good.
You were waiting for 2 more of your teammates to finish the section to know if you had won the champion or not. Your reaction after Alejandro fell was priceless. Can you talk us through, please?
Yeah, because the amount of pressure that you feel when you're doing this type of competitions, it's so hard. So if Alejandro did 40, more than 40, he would be the winner. So at the time, it was an easy section, but and at the time that he failed, so it was like, oh my God, this is really happening. So crazy.
And finally, Alejandro, what does it mean to be a world champion?
To be a world champion, it's a dream come true. It's what you aspire when you start competing. So yeah, it's really a dream come true. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, great to hear from Eli there, our 2022 world champion. And as you can see, we're now competing into the dark. Your top 6, it is going to be Lavity in 6, Peckhacker in 5, Rolls in 4, and then a Spanish clean sweep of the podium with Eli Palau becoming our world champion. But if you look at those point scores, it really does show just how close it came in to the end.
Super close. Just really came down to that last section, and just the pressure's on. These guys rode so well. Just absolutely so focused, flying through these sections. So, just going to see a few highlights from these guys.
So great riding here, and I think for me, watching the variety of surfaces, watching the riders excelling in different parts it wasn't so much that riders, the medalists dropped points, particularly in one section or the other. For me, it was more about the fact that they actually managed to get in there and get through that without burning too much energy on sections that they weren't suited to.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a lot of tension. Like, even when it's almost more tension. It's almost more tension when people are riding so close to each other. You know, you can't make a mistake. You know that there's that pressure that you can't make a mistake. And we saw, unfortunately, for Montalvo there, it cost him a lovely new top to wear.
Indeed, and that World Champions jersey is the one that they all wanted. It's going to be Eli who's going to be pulling that jersey on our podiums very shortly indeed. We're here in Abu Dhabi. We're here as part of the Urban World Championships, all housed within Bike Abu Dhabi Festival. This festival here in the heart of this amazing city, in the biggest of the 7 Emirates, here in the United Arab Emirates, in the UAE, and we are going to be crowning our world champion very shortly indeed. We'll see the medalists up on the podium, and it's been an amazing 2 days of competition so far. We've seen a flatland, we've seen 2/3 of our trials finals that we're going to be bringing you here today, and we've still got our men's 26-inch to come. So it's amazing action and some amazing riders. We're going to join our next medalist here, and we're going to hear what our second place rider has to say.
Alejandro, you came very, very close to winning a world title today, but still you're going back home with a silver. Is it happy for you to go back home with this?
Yeah, my riding was very, very well. I was riding incredible, and in last session I have a mistake on the middle of the session, so at this moment I know I lost the possibility to win the world title. So yeah, to be honest, I am disappointed. Of course, I tried my best. I was very close to get the title, and finally I have the silver medal. Of course, it's a good position. I will come back happy, but at this moment I feel a bit disappointed.
If you can recall the entire World Championships here in Abu Dhabi, how does it come for you? How was it in total?
It was a very good experience here, first time here. The place is very well, the weather, all the people. So we are feeling very comfortable here, and hopefully we will come back here in 2 years.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
But as Alejandro says, we are due back here in 2 years' time for the Urban World Championships. In between, we're going to be heading into Glasgow for 2023 up in Scotland, and confirmed result with Borja Conejos in third place, Alejandro Montalvo in second, and Eli Plau in top spot. Now, the second and third places were tied on points, Andre, and it came down to who had been up there and scored the most consistent,
the most amount
clear
of clean, basically the highest score, the most amount of high scores wins. So in each section, Alejandro got 4 60s and a 20, whereas Borja got 260s, 250s and a 40. So actually Alejandro cleared a higher percentage of high level scores. So essentially that means Alejandro wins.
And it was so tight. I mean, one mistake and you can be in major trouble. We've seen here Pek Hacker, the rider in 5th position, and a rider who's got loads of power and the straight legs, that straight coming up, but not to be, because he didn't have that all-round that this course really needed.
Yeah, a little bit too slippery for him to put his power down today, but that's how it goes. That's why you need to be absolutely on it.
So 4th place for Charlie Rolls here today from Great Britain, going in front of the Slovakian rider and in front of the Austrian. And Charlie with an early mistake, which really he's going to be ruined. And it was
Such
an
a
error
shame.
rather than a riding error.
Yeah, just a little bit too focused on the next sort of like major move, and he missed the gate at the start there. So that really put him on the back burner from the start, which is such a shame. I feel like he kind of probably didn't push as hard through the rest of it because, you know, kind of felt like he'd kind of already lost it. He knew it was going to be a high scoring competition, so you know it's a bit of a shame. He's done incredibly well.
Good ride, but not into the medals. Maybe next year up on almost home turf in Glasgow. But this man, he came here as our defending champion. He came here with a will to win it. He was up against his teammates in the last few sections.